So we're going to talk about the miracles in Mark's Gospel. Mark clearly believes that this physical realm that we perceive through our five senses is not all that there is to reality. Beyond this physical realm, there is a spiritual realm, and as Mark documents the account of Jesus' life, there are numerous instances when these two realms collide with one another. Something of the supernatural realm breaks in to this physical realm, affecting people, affecting situations, affecting events, affecting food, affecting the way that Jesus' body interacts with water, affecting a whole host of different things. It might be worth considering to begin with, what do we mean by the term miracle? I suppose the classic definition of the term miracle was formulated by the 18th century Scottish philosopher David Hume. And he famously said, a miracle is a violation of a law of nature. A violation of a law of nature. We know from our everyday experience, and indeed from scientific study, that nature follows particular laws that are fixed and unvarying. Wherever you go in the world, wherever you go in the universe, if certain conditions prevail, nature always works a particular way. So we know from experience that dense bodies don't skim or float across the surface of water, they sink because of the law of gravity. We know from experience that you can't just speak and multiply food because that would cut against the law of the conservation of matter, which says that atoms can't be created out of nothing. The problem with Hume's definition of miracle, a miracle is a violation of a law of nature, is that it suggests that miracles might be absurd or ridiculous to believe. And David Hume himself was a skeptic. He himself wanted to present philosophical reasons for not believing in miracles. It's often been suggested that he deliberately defines miracle as a violation of a law of nature to make miracles sound absurd. He's using loaded language. I myself prefer the definition used by the philosopher of religion Richard Swinburne. This definition wasn't formulated by Swinburne himself. He borrows it from elsewhere, but he certainly popularised it. And he defines a miracle as a non-repeatable counter-instance to a law of nature. A non-repeatable counter-instance to a law of nature. There are two parts to that definition. Notice firstly, he says a miracle is a non-repeatable event. It's no use saying, well, I've never experienced someone being raised from the dead, I've never experienced the multiplication of food or someone walking upon water, therefore I don't believe that miracles can occur or do occur. A miracle is a non-repeatable event. By definition, it is special, it is particular, it is out of the ordinary. Miracles aren't run-of-the-mill, everyday occurrences. And secondly, Swinburne says they are counter-instances to a law of nature. Not violations, but counter-instances to a law of nature. They run against the grain of nature. They go against the general working of things. So when Jesus multiplies food, as he does in the famous miracle of the feeding of the 5,000, it goes against the grain of what we would normally expect to happen. When Jesus walks across the surface of water, it goes against the grain of nature. It goes against what we would generally expect to happen. But that doesn't mean that a law has been violated or broken or transgressed. Instead, it's just been modified in some way. It's been interfered with in some way. Something of the supernatural realm has broken into this physical realm, affected the way that things occur within this physical realm. A miracle is a non-repeatable counter-instance to a law of nature. And with that definition in mind, let's go on and consider the different kinds of miracles that we find written about in Mark's Gospel.